The US presidential contest has begun to play out strongly now at the Mexico border. Both President Biden and Donald Trump visited points along the border on Thursday. It already is feeling like a presidential contest between these two. Biden has no rival to speak of within the Democrats for presidential nomination, and Trump is faced with Nikki Haley, but all indications are that she too does not appear a threat to Trump to speak of. So it did feel like rival candidates fighting it out over an issue, the border issue. Just which points each visited at the border has itself become the subject of accusation and counter-accusation. Trump went around the much-publicized Eagle Pass in Texas that has been a hotbed for attempted crossings and where the Republicans have launched a warlike resistance to immigration. Biden, on the other hand, got into the act a bit late and went to Brownsville, where the incidence of border crossings is a relative low. But in common and in opposition to one another, both were selling their commitment to fighting immigration, now soaring towards the top of the political issues coming up to the presidential election in November. Each candidate held himself out as the best bet against further migration from Mexico.
But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had, probably the most incompetent president we've ever had. But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations. Many nations are not very friendly to us. He's transported the entire columns of fighting-aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad.
Biden pleaded for bipartisan support for his immigration bill.
It's time for the speakers and some of my Republican friends in Congress who are blocking this bill to show a little spine. Pass a bipartisan, remember, bipartisan, conservative leaders supported this border security bill. Let's remember who we work for God's sake. We work for the American people. Let me end with this. I understand my predecessor's in Eagle Pass today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together.
The scale of the border issue undoubtedly is enormous. More than 6.3 million immigrants have been stopped at the border coming in under the Biden administration, and that is a far higher number than under Trump, Obama, or George W. Bush. Biden has also toughened the law on migration and is now toughening the rhetoric. Some of the rush at the border under Biden clearly came at the lifting of the lockdown, and that seemed to have opened the floodgates. But as his opponents see it, it was under Biden that more people felt encouraged to cross over. Most Americans do think that Biden isn't handling this strongly enough. Trump, on the other hand, has announced that he will do yet more, that he will launch the largest ever deportation program in U.S. history, to say nothing of completing a supposedly impregnable wall with Mexico, his pet project. Biden is without doubt playing catch-up to Trump on this issue, and Trump has figured that this is the popular path ahead. One poll suggests that 28% of Americans see immigration as their number one issue ahead of inflation and the economy. As elections near, so is the border issue set to advance closer home, and it has enough force to tilt the election result.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions. on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.